The best putters in the world get 4 things right when they make putts: a perfect setup, a perfect stroke, a perfect speed, and a perfect direction. Seymour's patented and proven rifle scope technology putting system helps golfers improve all 4 areas. Here's how. First, get in a comfortable posture. Square the face to the target line using the putter's alignment line. Then hide the red dot. Doing these 3 things will set you up in an optimal stance, square to the putter, square to the target line, and with your head, shoulders, hips, and hands in alignment. Now you're locked onto the target, like radar, free to putt with confidence the same way every time. Take your game to the next level by becoming a great putter with a Seymour.
Okay, Jake. So here's your golf swing today. So I think the setup position is good. I think you're real good there. There's nothing. I think Jordan is hitting like a 9-iron or a wedge or something like that, so he's a little bit closer to it. So that's the only kind of difference I would see here. Top of the backswing, or at least halfway back. All right, so we did talk about, when you were in the K-Vest, we talked about 20-40. All right, see how the golf club's starting to get more behind your body. You're starting to, right, and you can see more hips have turned in your relation to him. Right, so it's almost like you're going to feel hips aren't going to move at all. Right, hips are going to stay facing the camera from the side angle, right? All right. See, and you got into a better position when you did rotation at the top in the K-Vest. You were, in a much more position there. But you see, he's still turning his upper body against his lower, right? Here's where it all changes. All right, less rotation at impact there. All right, the hip butt's coming off the wall there. All right, standing straight, more straight up. If you look at here, his shoulders are more open. Your shoulders are straight up and down. All right, so you're swinging more more under this way, rather than more on that diagonal line, right? All right, see a little out of posture there at the address position. See you're more. All right, which is a result from you going that way. All right. The other thing is talking about club face. In both pictures, you just see your right arm and Jordan's right arm. You don't see the left arm, and the club face is square at that impact, at that address position. So if I put you guys at impact, he's back to almost being square. He's just before impact, and you can't see his left wrist or his left forearm, right? And you see your right forearm. Okay, so there's just lack of rotation or release through that golf swing. All right, I think that comes from working more that way rather than around your body, right? More working, this way. As bad as that drawing illustrated, right? You feel like you're going more this way rather than around your body. Okay, that'll help too. I mean, if you just stand on the mat here, hold it up, hold the golf club up waist high, both hands on. Now swing it like a baseball bat. Your hands rotated over, didn't they? Right. So when the flatter you get, right. So I just told you here, we're still recording. So I just told you to stand up straight and swung it that way, and your hands turned over really good. All right. For some reason, when you're down this way, all right, they won't turn over. Or they still should. They still should make that rotation and help them close. All right. So, so a couple things we talked about a lot today. That's not a sense for you to get discouraged. Yeah. You're definitely on the right track. So what we're going to get you to do is get into some better positions at address, at the top of your backswing. We're going to work on the club face, rotating through the impact area. We'll eventually work on your foot pressure, where you're a little bit more in the heels rather than the toes, and we'll go from there. So, all right, all in all, pretty good.
Rory McIlroy is only 5'9", 161 pounds. But in the U.S. Open, he bombed his drives an average of over 310 yards. Our question is, how does a golfer Rory's size get so much length off the tee? The key to generating distance is what's called the kinetic chain, drawing energy from the ground up through the legs, through the torso, into the arms, and into the club. And in the middle of that kinetic chain is a critical link, the hips. And it's Rory's extraordinary hip action that caught the eye of Dr. Greg Rose. At the Titleist Performance Institute, Dr. Rose has worked with many of the world's best golfers, including Rory, using technology to analyze aspects of the golf swing that are difficult to see with the naked eye.
Rory's got that beautiful tempo, but as he comes through impact, all of a sudden something very different happens, which makes a lot of us sports science guys look at this and go, wow, what's going on there? If we look at hip speed, most amateurs are around 300 to 350 degrees per second. That's how fast they're rotating. Most tour players are around 550 degrees. Rory gets to this amazing 720 degrees per second on the downswing.
What's truly remarkable about Rory's hip acceleration is that it has another gear, reverse.
So if I'm looking at anatomy, you got to understand your abdominals, they run diagonally. Those are called your oblique abdominals. They start on your rib cage and they run down to your pelvis. So imagine it's like a rubber band attached to either side, and as that rubber band is contracting, it's going to grab both sides and pull them closer together. So in Rory's case, those abdominals fire so hard, it actually takes his lower body and it actually spins in the opposite direction. Right there, it's actually moving 377 degrees per second the opposite direction, which is just crazy.
In other words, for a split second, Rory's hips actually move backward faster than most golfers ever move their hips forward. This reverse rotation is extremely rare. Out of the hundreds of pros he's analyzed, Dr. Rose has only seen it a handful of times. And while it isn't the key to Rory's length, it's an amazing indicator of the intense torque Rory uses to generate ball speeds of over 175 miles per hour, among the fastest in the world. Of course, Rory McIlroy didn't win the U.S. Open just by being long off the tee. His ball striking helped him set the Open record, hitting an amazing 62 out of 72 greens in regulation. For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brinkus.
Well, the most important thing in a golf swing to me is the movement of the lower body from the top of the swing. And if you don't mind, I'll demonstrate. First off, you start down below with your knees and your hips. At the top of the swing, you move the lower part of your body, not your shoulders, the lower part of your body, letting your arms and hands follow, bringing you into position to hit. But this is the first movement. There. then you release at the bottom. Most people do it entirely opposite. They rotate their shoulders first instead of their lower body. As a result, they come across the ball and hit the outside of the ball instead of the back of it. If you don't mind, I'll hit a ball, and the first thing to watch is what starts first from the top of the swing.